In this video we are going to discuss about the previous year question paper and the important topics for your external examination of energy sciences and engineering subject. First we'll be going on with the discussion of the previous year question paper. This is the previous year question paper which we have got in the last semester for the remaining departments, civil engineering and electronic engineering departments. They are having the energy sciences and engineering subject. So in this year it consists of the various questions from the all the units, but mostly the questions were from the first unit. You are having the more weightage. Here you can able to see the first question. What is the first question? He asked us to explain about the conventional and the non-conventional energy sources. As we know that conventional energy sources are nothing but the non-renewable energy sources, and non-conventional energy sources are the renewable energy sources. So we need to explain about that. And then next question also from the first unit, which is about the merits and the demerits of the non-conventional energy resources, which is nothing but the renewable energy resources. Then we are having the different questions of hydraulic turbine, conversion energy, biomass, tidal power energy. So this is the question paper. Now I will be going with the key answers for the each and every question, and then we will be discussing in a clear way. The first question is about the sources of energy, which is renewable is nothing but the non-conventional, and non-renewable energy is the conventional energy. So the example of the renewable energy is solar, nuclear, which you can able to reuse again. That comes under the renewable energy sources. And the next one is non-renewable energy resources, which cannot be reused again and again. The examples are fossil fuels, coal, petroleum, thermal power plant. But here the way of representation is different, and you can able to in your first unit we have drawn the flow chart about the classification of the energy resources. You can draw in that way or in this way, any way you can able to represent. After representing also you can able to write the definition. I did not mention the definition of the renewable and non-renewable in this key paper. You can able to mention the definition of renewable and non-renewable energy also after drawing the flow chart. Okay, second question he asked about the non-renewable energy demerits, but here you can able to find the demerits and the merits, which are advantages and the disadvantages. Even though he asked only about the disadvantages, it is better to write the advantages also. So what are the non-renewable energy sources or the non-conventional energy sources? They are nothing but which cannot be renewable, which cannot be reused again and again. In that first one is coal. So coal is nothing but which is cheaply available, but you cannot able to use the generation of the coal takes place within the 100 years of the duration. The next one, oil and gas, advantages and the disadvantages. Then next coming to the nuclear power, advantages and the disadvantages were mentioned here. So if we go through the oil and gas, the supply of the oil and gas will be very low, and it also causes a global warming, which are the more disadvantages. And the nuclear power plant, which supplies a nuclear fuel only after 50 years of the duration. So this is about the advantages and disadvantages of the non-renewable or the conventional energy sources. And here you can able to see he has only the demerits in the question, but here in the key paper, while preparing the key paper, the chief mentioned both the advantages and disadvantages as the important point in order to write. So the way of representation is very much important in order to gain the marks in the theory subject. Then the next question is about the hydroelectric turbine energy conversion. So what is hydroelectric turbine? Hydroelectric turbine is nothing but the conversion of the hydro is nothing but water. So the water energy should be converted in the form of a electrical energy, that you are going to call it as a motion of the work. If you are going to convert that, you are going to call it as a conversion of the hydroelectric power energy. So in that question you can able to draw the drawing of the hydroelectric power plant, how the energy is being converted. And one more question given in your third one is what is water wheel. So what is the purpose of the water wheel is, it is It is a machine used for converting the energy of flowing or failing water into useful forms of power in a water mill. In the case of the water mill, we will be using the water mill which converts the water, converts the energy of the flowing water into the useful power energy. This is about your third question. Next, fourth question, he asked us to draw the parts of a turbine. So in that Pelton wheel turbine, you can able to see for all the turbine, mostly the parts were same and similar. Here, what are the parts? The turbine consists of, it consists of a casing. Casing is nothing but which acts as a protector whenever we are going to pass the water into the turbine or the energy into the turbine. Whenever it is going to rotate, it will be splitting off its energy outside. So in order to protect that energy, we are going to provide the casing. The next one, you are having a nozzle is allowed to pass the steam onto the turbine or water onto the turbine surface. Then next one, there is a runner. So runner is nothing but with the help of a runner, the turbine wheel will be rotating, and it also consists of a buckets are nothing but which are similar to the blades. So that will, with the help of the runner and the blades, the turbine will be continuously rotating and converts its energy into the form of a which energy, kinetic energy in the form of a mechanical energy. Always the working principle of the turbine is nothing but the conversion of the any sort of the energy can be converted in the form of a mechanical energy with the help of a turbine. In any case, in the steam turbine, in the thermal power plant, or in the case of the nuclear turbine, or in any consideration, the main purpose of turbine is to convert the energy in the form of a mechanical energy. Here you can able to see the explanation of the impulse turbine. Pelton wheel is nothing but a one type of a, it is one of the type or the example of a impulse turbine which allows the tangential flow of the turbine. So this is the explanation about your impulse turbine. Next one, fifth question is about what is biomass and how it is useful. So what is biomass? Biomass, as we know that it is a organic waste or biological matter derived from the living or the non-living organisms, that you are going to call it as a biomass, and it comes under the renewable energy sources. Okay, so how we are going to use it, that we are going to see now. It is obtained from any plants, human or animal derived organic matter. It can be example from wood from the tree, agricultural crops, wood factory waste, construction industry. So that is nothing but the biomass. So how we are going to use the biomass, here you can able to see. Biomass was the first fuel mankind learned to use for energy, burning wood and cooking and keeping wild animals away. And it was an abundant fuel used in the many parts of the country. With the help of the biomass, you can able to generate the oil and the natural gas also. This is about your biomass definition and how it is going to be useful. Sixth question is about what are the difficulties in generation of the tidal power plant. So what is tidal power plant? How we are going to get the tidal energy? Whenever there is the movement of the tides near the oceans or the seas, then if you are going to utilize that energy for the generation of the electricity from the tides, that you are going to call it as a tidal energy. So it will be having the high capital cost and very high construction period, since it is constructed near the seas. Seawater consists of a more amount of the salt content in it, so it is corrosive in nature. See the very simple and easy way to clear this subject, if you are having a general and a practical knowledge, and once if you are going to go through the entire notes, it is very easy to go score the more amount of the marks in this subject. Next question is about the explain the various sources of the thermal energy storage. As we know that what is thermal energy? Thermal energy is nothing but a heat energy. The heat energy can be stored in the different ways. One is the sensible heat, or you can able to call it as a latent heat. So what is the need or the purpose for storing the sensible or the latent heat is, it can be used for the boiling or the heating or melting of the particular fuel. Eighth question in your previous paper, which is about the what are the different types of the, or list out the various types of the waste heat recovery devices. Here you can able to see the list of the different types of the waste heat recovery devices, which are waste heat recovery boiler, recuperator, regenerator, heat pipe exchanger, thermal wheel, economizer, heat pumps, heat wheels, heat pipe, thermocompressor, and direct contact heat exchanger. So it is not necessary to remember all the 10 points. At least you need to write about 6 waste heat recovery devices if you are going to get this question in your exam. Ninth question is about the what are the environmental impacts of the power generation. So whenever we are going to generate the power, how it is going to cause the environmental impacts or the problems. So here you can able to see it causes the problems including land, water, air emission, thermal releases into the environment, which causes a higher amount of the ash disposal. So these all will be affecting the environment, resulting in the global warming, and it also creates a more amount of the effect on the water which we are going to use. Able to see the next question, which is about the what are the BEE standard. So what is BEE standard? BEE standard is nothing but the Bureau of Energy Efficiency, which will be given to the all the appliances which we are going to use in the daily life. The amount of the usage of the energy from the power generation that can be displayed, which consists of the basic energy Bureau of Energy Efficiency standards will be giving for the different sort of the appliances. Next question is about the next we are going with the part B, which is about the first question. He asked just about the which type of the conventional and non-conventional energy source is useful for the rural application and agriculture purpose of the application. We know that rural and the agricultural purpose we require the less amount of the usage, we'll be having the more amount of the electricity usage, and we need to provide the power supply for a more amount of the time. So depending on the different sort of the non-conventional energy resources, you can write your own point of view regarding with the how we are going to use that type of the energy resources in the rural as well as the agricultural purpose. So here you can able to see renewable sources provide more renewable resources provide the important aspects in the 4 areas, which is electricity generation, water heating or the cooling, transporting or to the rural purpose. These are the main sources they need to fulfill whenever we are going to supply the energy for the rural as well as the agricultural purpose. In that we will be discussing about what are the different types of the renewable energy sources. Here you can able to see solar energy, wind energy, tidal energy, geothermal energy, and the biomass energy, which comes under the renewable energy resource. So here you can able to see the solar energy in the application of the rural and agricultural purpose. Here what is solar energy is nothing but which you will be getting the electrical energy directly from the help of the sunlight. So if you are going to use that energy, what are the uses of the solar energy? Here you can able to say it can be used as a solar heater, solar cells, and it can also be used for the cooking purpose, and also can be used for the electricity purpose. So this is the different sort of the application of the renewable energy of the solar energy in terms of the rural and the agricultural applications, which is energy directly evolved from the sunlight. Similarly, you can able to see the example of the wind energy, how we are going to use in the rural and the agricultural purpose of the application. And what is wind energy? The energy which is generated with the help of a wind, you are going to call it as a wind energy, and you can able to find the largest windmill in India in the Kanyakumari region. And the next one is biomass energy. As we already got this question in your short answers, what is biomass and how it is useful, you can able to write. It is nothing but the organic waste you will be getting from the agricultural crops, human waste. Okay. Then next one is about the tidal energy and the geothermal energy, which are also the renewable energy resources which can be used for the rural and the agricultural applications. Next, the 12th question, A bit is about the draw the layout of the hydroelectric power plant and explain the each component. Here you can able to see the hydroelectric power plant, and this question already most of the people you might have learned it, because I have given this question in your first internal examination. Here you can able to see the hydroelectric power plant layout, and the layout which we have drawn in the notes, and this is little bit varied. You can able to represent in that way or in this way the layout of the hydroelectric power plant, and you need to explain about the each and every part of the hydroelectric power plant. And one more thing you need to do in this case is you need to explain what is hydroelectric power plant, how the energy is being produced in the hydroelectric power plant also, before writing or explaining about the components of the hydroelectric power plant. Here you can able to see the essential features or the elements of the hydroelectric power plant or the components. Here first one is the catchment area. Catchment area is nothing but from where the water is being collected into the hydroelectric power plant for the generation. The next one, reservoir. Reservoir is nothing but where we are going to collect the rainwater. A dam is nothing but which acts as a barrier so that the water can be utilized from the reservoir for the generation of the electricity purpose. Then next, coming to the spillways, conduits, surge tanks, prime movers, draft tubes, powerhouse and the equipment. These are the different types or the components of the hydroelectric power plant. Next question is about the discussion on the pollution control and the pollution standards in the nuclear power plant. So what is nuclear power plant, how the energy will be getting generated in the case of the nuclear power plant. So in the case of the nuclear power plant, the energy will be generated with the help of atoms and the molecules, which takes place the fusion and the fission reaction. Okay, so in this you can able to see the first point, the nuclear power plant should be constructed away from the human habitation, and it also required to maintain the standards of the construction. The next point, water from the nuclear power plant should be purified. It should not be directly entered into the river. And then next you can able to see the Narora atomic power project as an example for the fourth point, which has a more amount of the safety system in generating the nuclear power plant, and it should also ensure that radioactive chemicals should not be released into the environment. So if you are going to maintain all these standards, you can able to say that pollution can be controlled in the case of the nuclear power plant. Next, 13th year, the question is about the draw the schematic diagram of the flat plate solar collector. Here you can able to see the flat plate solar collector. So flat plate solar collector is nothing but one of the type of the generation of the electricity with the help of a solar energy. So here and he also explained us, he also asked in the question to explain the working principle of the flat plate solar collector. So here you can able to see what are the different parts. It consists of 4 different parts. The observer plate is nothing but where the entire energy of the sunlight or the radiation of the sunlight will be observed. And then next, it also consists of a transparent cover. So what is the purpose of the transparent cover is it will not be allowing the reduction of the energy which has been collected by the observer plate. Then next one, insulation beneath the observer plate, where it minimizes the heat losses, and it also consists of a box like structure to place the above 3 components. This is about the flat plate solar collector, and each part component explanation about the flat plate collector is about the explain the various types of the tidal power plant and what is the utilization of the single method, each method. So here you can able to see the different types of the tidal power plant. One is single basin arrangement, and the second one is the double basin arrangement. So in the case of the single basin arrangement, you can able to see there will be a dam, which is dam or the barrage, which will be separated from the basin of the sea, and sluice way will be allowing the tide to enter into the basin, tide to enter into the barrage or the dam. Then next, it also consists of a turbine generated with the help of a turbine generator within the ducts inside the barrage and powerhouse built, and from this, with the help of this, we are going to generate the power in the case of the single basin power plant. Whenever there is a high tide passing, that will be allowing to pass through the sluice way, and from sluice way to the turbine, then it will be converting its energy. In that, he asked about the limitations of the tidal power plant. Here you can able to see the limitations, which are pre-feasibility study and the feasibility study. In the case of the pre-feasibility study, we need to go with the surveying of the area of the map, survey of the India, and everything related to the construction of a tidal power plant. And in the case of the feasibility study, only we will be doing after the preliminary investigation for the construction of the tidal power plant is fixed, which comes under the mathematical modeling and energy computation, and the foundation investigation will be carried out in the case of the feasibility study. Next, 14th question is about the advantages and the disadvantages of the cogeneration and the trigeneration system, and this is a very important question from your 4th unit. Definitely you will be getting the what is the cogeneration and the trigeneration advantages or the disadvantages or its application, or to explain the various cogeneration techniques or the trigeneration techniques, definitely in your external examination. So here you can able to see the advantages and the disadvantages based on the back pressure steam turbine, extraction condensing steam turbine, and gas turbine, and the reciprocating engine cogeneration system. So these are the advantages and the disadvantages of the cogeneration systems. Next question is about the different types of the mechanical energy storage devices. In that, first one is a pumped hydroelectric energy storage. Here you can able to see the drawing of the pumped hydroelectric storage, how the hydroelectricity is being generated from the water by pumping it. So this is a type of the hydroelectric storage. So this is about your 14th question, which is BBIT. Next question is about the estimation of the power production, different methods in the cost of the power plant economy. So in that, you are having 3 different types. First one is the straight line method, second one is the sinking fund method, and the third one is the diminishing value method. Here you can able to see the different notation, where P is nothing but the initial investment to install the plant, and S is the salvage value at the end of the plant, and N is the life of the plant in years, and R is the annual rate of compound interest, and A is the total amount which we are going to keep aside for the accumulation and for the depreciable investment at the end of the nth year. Here you can able to see the diminishing value method, how you are going to use, and there is one example which I have been solved in the diminishing value method. In this method, what we are going to do is we are going to check or find out the amount set aside per year decreases as the life of the plant increases. So you can able to see you will be getting clear based on the example. So here you can able to see the equipment cost is 20,000 rupees. The amount set aside is 10% of the initial cost at the beginning of the year, and 10% remaining cost with the end of the successive year. So which is nothing but 20,000 minus 10% is nothing but 10 by 100 into 20,000. So what will be the balance in the first year? It is the balance will be 18,000. So based on the balance, we are going to check the amount what we are going to keep aside for the second year with the same 10%. So 18,000 minus 10% into 18,000, the balance will be 16,200. And during the third year, you can able to see the balance left over from the second year is 16,200 minus 10 by 100 into 16,200. So the balance for the remaining amount is 14,580. So from year to year, the diminishing of the value of the amount has been decreased in the case of the maintenance charges. So this is about the diminishing value method, which is one of the type of the method used in estimating the power plant economy. The next question is about the listing out of the various pollution standard. Here you can able to see the petrol emission norms and the diesel emission norms. So from the petrol, what are the emissions you are going to get, and from the diesel, what are the emission you can able to get. So BS3, BS4 and Euro 6. Here you can able to see carbon oxide, then next hydrocarbons, nitrates and HC plus nitrates and PM. So here what is the amount we are going to release by utilization of those type of the norms of the petrol vehicles or from the diesel emission vehicles. So these are the percentages which figured in gram per kilometer. So these sources have been given by the Indian emissions regulations. Okay, so this is about the emissions of the petrol and the diesel. Next question is about what are the different methods used in converting the wave energy into the electrical energy. Here you can able to see wave machines are the devices employed for energy conversion. So here what are the wave machines used is, on the basis of the location, we will be using offshore or the deep water devices or the short line devices. It depends on the shore length or the sea depth. So in offshore machines, the cost of installation, operation and the power transmission will be large, and in short line machines, as it is of the short line, we will not be going for the more amount of the cost of installation will not be there, and maintenance also will be very low. And the next one, on the basis of the position with respect to the sea level, you can able to see the floating devices, submerged and the partially submerged devices. So submerged and the partially submerged devices will be having the more have the benefits of easier maintenance, but it will not be able to withstand the more amount of the storm conditions. And the next one, it is on the basis of the accelerating motion used in capturing the wave power, heavy flow type, pitching type and heavying and pitching flow type. These are the different ways of converting wave energy in the form of electrical energy. And next one is about the explanation of why selection of the site is very much or suitable in order to locate the thermal power plant. So the first one is, it should be located at the load center to avoid transmission cost and the losses, and it should be away from the business center due to noisy operation. It should be very nearer to the places where fuel is easily available, availability of the labor and availability of the transportation, and land also should be at the cheaper price wherever we are going to establish the thermal power plant. He is asking about the statistics and prospects of the renewable energy sources, and he asked about what is geothermal energy, which should be explained in the form of a points, and he did not mention what to explain in the geothermal energy. Just to explain about the geothermal power plants. The next one, you can able to explain any type of the geothermal power plant taking as an example. He asked about the electrical energy storage system. Here you can able to see the examples of the mechanical energy storage system, which is PHS, pumped hydroelectric city system, and the next compressed air and the flywheel. The next one, electrochemical, which is secondary batteries, flow batteries and the chemical. And you can also able to see the electrical energy storage devices and the thermal energy storage devices. And the next question he asked us about the power plant economics. So power plant economy is nothing but how you can able to reduce the power plant cost initialization or during the maintenance or during the entire process of the generation of the electricity, from starting from the generation of the electricity, initial cost of the buying of the land, then also it also comes under the fuel, availability of the fuel, availability of the labor, and after getting of the all the availability, what is the price you are going to sell the power plant. So this all includes about your power plant economy. So with this we have done with the revision of your previous question paper of the energy sciences and engineering. Now I'll be showing you what are the important questions for your external from each and every unit at the end of this video. Then we will be concluding with the end of this session. Here you can able to see the important questions from your first unit. So here what are the important questions from your first unit. Here you can able to see What write about the classification of the energy resources already, which we have discussed in the previous question paper. And second question is about the advantages and disadvantages of the different types of the energy sources. That also has been covered in the part B 11th question. The next one, the demerits and the merits of the renewable and non-renewable energy resources, which we have discussed in the short answers. And statics and prospects of the energy resources. And then we are having the definitions of the power coefficient, solar cell, energy and ESC, which are the very important questions for your external point of view from your unit 1. So the next is about the important questions which are from the unit 2. Here you can able to see the steam turbine power plant and the gas turbine power plant, nuclear power plant, hydroelectric power plant we have discussed just now in this video. So steam turbine power plant and the gas turbine power plant. So what is the difference between steam and the gas turbine power plant is, in the case of the steam turbine power plant, the steam will be allowed to pass through the turbine, and that turbine will be converting that steam energy in the form of a mechanical energy, and as usual you will be having a generator which will be converting the mechanical energy in the form of a electrical energy. So this is the working principle, but this you need to explain with the help of a drawing or the flow chart. The next one, gas turbine power plant. Gas turbine power plant is nothing but which consists of a gas as a source in order to generate the electricity. Next is about your unit 3. Here we have discussed already about the solar collector, which is one type of the solar collector, flat plate solar collector. The next one, photovoltaic cell, wind turbine, geothermal power plant and the biomass conversion. So these are the important questions for your external. Next one is see, from the unit 4 also you are having the more weightage, where you got the cogeneration and the trigeneration advantages and disadvantages in your previous question paper, and you also got the methods to store the different types of the storage methods of the energies in your short answer as well as in your long answer 17th question. And you also got the question about what are the list out the various type of the waste heat recovery devices. So please do not neglect your 4th unit while preparing for your external, since it consists of a more amount of the weightage in your previous paper. Next one is about your 5th unit, which consists of a power plant economy and methods, and you can able to see the different types of the pollutions and the pollution standard. BEE, from this important questions also you have got mostly the questions have been repeated in the previous question paper. And while preparing for your exams, after going with the unit wise important question, you just go through the revision and try to solve your previous question paper, so that it will be very easy while you're writing your examination. So with this we have done with the revision of your energy sciences and engineering subject, which is a revision of 5 units as well as the previous year question paper. Since it is a new subject, we have got only one previous year question paper which have been solved.